All right, let's. Usually just like, all right, I'm ready for the next leg of this odyssey we're on. Let's go meet the Cyclops.
Melinda. Over opinionated, no consequences, and insane. More or
This will
less.
go well.
I remember her house smells nice. Like incense and alcohol that's been left out too long.
Drive off again to the other side of town. And then I'm gonna jump to Ella. You're alone. For once, well, the Guardian is there, so you're never really alone. He appears. And says, someone was here, is here, and will be here. Mistress.
Someone that we know or someone new in it?
Kind of hard to explain. You get a sudden headache, and then you see a face. It's a very weird feeling that you've not experienced before. You're kind of used to by now that the memories are flooding back, but this seems like something is just hammered into your memory out of left field. And then you hear taps, a little bit of knocks on your very sturdy steel door to the haven.
She'll go to answer it. But before she opens the door, she'll ask who is there, what business they have.
You will have to scream, and then there's a scream back through the door. It's very soundproof down here. Very muffled scream. But I am here on the behalf of the Camarilla.
She's automatically not excited about this person using that word in public, but she will open the door to see who's out there.
The doors glide open by mere thought. You see a Caucasian man, blue eyes, shoulder long hair in a bun, short beard. He's wearing what looks like a Victorian attire, something a gentleman would be wearing. He has a sword cane in hand. He smiles.
He has what in his hand?
Sword cane.
Oh, okay.
He smiles, gives a slight bow. Ella Quinn of
Correct.
House Orthia.
And who do I have the pleasure of welcoming to this humble abode?
I am Archon Cross. Dowser's dying. May I come in?
I guess.
Thank you.
She'll just make a gesture to let them in.
He steps inside, looks at the cages, frowns a bit, and just looks around like he is scanning things. And then he shakes your hand. Firm grip, but also gentle.
Well, would you like to have a seat? We have a table here. Or are you here for a short amount of time?
When and time is always weird. But yes, I would like to have a seat.
She will gesture for him to pull out his own seat, and he can pick whichever one he wants.
The Guardian has made himself scarce.
Mm-hmm.
He sits down and he looks around at the statues and everything. Very impressive. Did you build this?
I can't take credit for that. No, not to my knowledge.
Ah.
I believe it was one of my peers that did the work prior to... I don't know, actually.
Must have been Seva then.
It must be what?
Oh, I believe you call him Dowser.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Mhm. Are you familiar with him?
Well, I know of him. He's an oddity in his clan.
How so?
Tremiers usually don't have elemental affinity.
Hmm.
It is something the Shimishi got with, they jealously guard it. Let's just say that.
Well, it seems like of the things that he's able to craft, at least this seems to be a little less gothic, I guess. It seems to be a little more masquerade safe.
Well, it's beautiful. I sense the hedge. Something celestial and a vessel that's not nice, but necessary in some circumstances.
Everything can serve its purpose if you know how to manage it.
I guess so. I am here to learn things and perhaps hire you. If you wish to serve a Justica, possibly become an Archon.
What would this entail?
Anything that Justica craving demands, really. You'll be traveling a lot, but you will have a rank higher than Princess. I'm sure you know. You are Ventru, and you are from a house of warriors. You would become... don't like the name, but she calls them the Dread Knights.
Seems like there's a lot to dread in the city, from what I've been told from my peers and others. What's one more thing?
Recently learned of this town. Then I traveled to it in multiple points of time to see its history. And there's something lurking here. Something I cannot allow. My official title is Archon, but really I'm keeper of the Masquerade. And whatever lurks below the city cannot be set free. And you told me 30 years ago that you are preventing it.
Well, if it hasn't destroyed anything, then I guess I've kept my word.
You have. If you should succeed a second time, the job offer stands. I have questions though. About the city and its leadership. I'm told they follow Camarilla rules, but they don't have a prince. What do you make of them?
Tragic. Children.
Competent or
Depending on the night.
are they heretical?
They're the... I guess that depends on who you ask.
Do you believe they're truly Camarilla?
Some of them. Are we talking about within the city entirely, or the ones here under this roof?
Talking about
Because these may be
the
two.
Baron. It's not like the Camarilla to have barons. At least not since the 1400s.
This area seems to be more of a neutral zone. It seems where Baron in name and Anarch in following, but Camarilla in practice. Where they don't want to break the masquerade, they don't want things to be known, but not necessarily for the sake of the masquerade or not for the sake of the Camarilla, but for some other reason. It seems more to be a power with everything within the world and the night, not just the Camarilla. I learned recently that there are some other worldly beings north of here in the woods. There's something else beyond the Camarilla that lurks below the surface of the lake.
Yes.
Don't necessarily think that the Baron is a heretic. I don't think that they are not abiding by the Camarilla. I don't think they've been or would be given praxis if they wanted that title.
Well, they're not on any list. Let me tell you that. They don't answer to anyone. No Justicar. No Archons. Nobody even knew they were here. Little quaint town in Maine. All place.
Seems to be the epicenter of some things that might have happened that predated our arrival and or maybe happening in the future that will be the reason that we leave. Or it's wiped off of the face of existence.
Well, I do hope you're able to succeed, or that your prison will hold.
Seems like the entirety of Dusktown is a prison.
Yes, and this
Filled with
building
different
at the
gibbers.
center of it.
Well, it seems that we have at the least kept 2 here without chains that we can see visibly. Suspect if we need to keep more, we'd be able to do so.
He nods. He gives you a slight smile. And he puts a coin in your hand. If you should ever need assistance of the Camarilla, snap this coin in half, and I'll know.
Understood. And one last question for you. How did you get in here? You said that you've been here more than once, but which way did you choose to travel in? Which road? Which highway? Byway?
I walked. From south.
From south?
Further north and you kind of go into nothing. But mountains and cold. And then Canada.
Just curious.
Oh, you're
Well, I
wondering how
appreciate
I will leave.
Mm-hmm.
Well, outside of time, let's say that.
Is there anyone else that you would like to pay a visit to while you're here?
Nah, I've spoken to the only venture I need to speak with.
Think of all of the individuals here. Everyone gets along well. If anything, I believe it's the one particular club owner that seems to be particularly bothersome, but I think I'll be able to manage him.
That's good to hear. And I hope you serve the Masquerade. And keep that creature in the lake where it belongs.
Well, if I remember correctly, there used to be this recipe my family enjoyed, calamari. I'd have no problem frying it up the same way and serving it to those that have been terrified by it all these years, whether they know of its existence or not. I'm sure it'd be battered and fried the same. Or I can at least die trying.
I have faith in you. And once he points towards your chest, where your necklace is below your shirt. Once that is whole again, you'll have a weapon.
But I will. It is with our family where it should be. It will continue to remain there, no matter what the followers have said.
I spoke to one of your sisters, and apparently you're very, very, very fortunate to have a piece of it.
Historically, there's not too many of them. The odds that there'd be one here are slim, but fortunately for us, it was greater than none.
And unfortunately, most of your lineage has been wiped out.
Unfortunate, but again, the numbers that we have within our lineage are greater than none.
I am glad that you still walk the earth, Miss Ella Quinn of House Orthia. I'll
She'll
take my
stand
leave.
up.
He bows.
She'll return. Until next time.
Time.
She'll...
He smiles at the word. And then he's no longer there. Didn't leave. There's no gust of wind or celerity involved. He's just displaced.
Out like a light.
Henry and Julian, you drive to Melinda's estate with all the armed guards and servants up the enormous driveway through the wooded area, and you're greeted by sniper towers and red dots, and then at the door a old butler who sighs when you arrive, extra when he sees Alejandro. And then he just gives a slight nod. Welcome. How may I assist you? And Alejandro says, here to see Melinda. Very well, sir. He walks into the house and just yells out, Mistress, you have company. You hear something fall, and then a crash, and then heavy footsteps in high heels as Melinda walks into her large hall where you sat. Oh, nice to see you again. What do I owe the pleasure? And you brought that thing. She looks at Alejandro. Oh, I brought them.
Julian does a little wave to her.
Henry just doesn't.
She looks, she smiles, then she grabs a drink of something. And red-haired, scared-looking maid runs off. And you're basically left here alone, or kindred. I don't mind guests, but you're just here to stare, or?
We're waiting for Alejandro to come out with the reason why we're here, why we should trust you and look after you, and or do something that means that he's right and we're wrong, and other such stuff, and probably watch people get murdered or tortured, or, you know, cats, axes, something like that.
Well, there's no torture here, she smiles. I think you need to go to Cahya for that. Alejandro says, they know a way out. Then her eyes whites. And then
There's a
narrows.
big barrier in the way.
And you have a way through it?
Not yet.
But you will.
That is the hope.
We cannot comment on some things. There are some things we can say and some things we cannot say.
I understand. And I assume you want something in return if you could hypothetically get me out of this shithole.
You, yes. Him, not so much.
She smiles. Well, a rat will always find their way. He lights a big joint in here, just to spite her and fill the room with the smoke. And she opens the garden doors, letting in the cold winter breeze.
Well, Melinda, I hope I don't bother you too much, but do you have any wine
Of course.
around here?
She just yells out, and it almost, like, to you, it's loud, and you weren't expecting that. It was just, wine! And then the butler arrives a couple of minutes later with a shaky tray, a wine bottle, and some glasses. I hope it's the good one. Otherwise, I'm gonna beat you with the bottle. She smiles, and he says, yes, mistress, of course.
Yeah, I'll take that. Thank you. And he's gonna take the tray.
No, sir. He opens the wine and pours it for you, slings it a bit, and then hands you the glass.
Oh, thank you very much. And he's gonna give it a little smell, a little whiff, and then he's going to. It's excellent. And he just smiles at her. There's like he's playing it up a little bit for the sake of the butler. It's like, oh yes, indeed, that great wine or whatever. And he's also like marveling at the fact he can taste it now. So
Melinda takes a glass, sits down on her couch, kind of like sideways Roman style, half laying down. Her cocktail dress is barely covering her nether regions. So, I ask again, what can I help you with, apart from good company?
well, Alejandro is warning us that the people who are around us are vipers,
Yeah.
essentially.
Happens with age, I'm told.
I wonder what kind of viper you are.
I bought one.
A safe one.
Well, I own the town, but I don't want to be here. My sire and father left, and I would very much like to track him down and beat the living shit out of him, or unliving shit out of him.
Your father was your sire.
Yes, it runs in the family.
Oh, I'm so sorry. He looks. He gives that, the classic 1,000-yard stare of like, oh yeah, my sire was an asshole too. that kind of look.
I loved my father. He was an honorable man. Quite a devout man. A paragon.
Sips wine.
Well,
I'll say for myself, I don't have anything. There's nothing you have that I want, and I can't think of anything. If we deliver and get you out of Dusktown, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'm not exactly interested in power politics. I think peace. That would be enough for me. I can't speak for him, and he looks over at Henry. Just don't try to kill us.
I'd have one request. It's a very small request. On top of anything else, such as, well, if you wanted us to get you out, we couldn't really do that if I don't know. The others were wanting us dead. So that goes without saying, obviously. So should we accidentally or such find a way to get you out, that would most likely require us to be alive. So it goes without saying, you own this town. You would probably have to ensure that we were there to be able to open the door for you. But I just have one request. Seeing as you mentioned you didn't particularly like your sire, your father, and it's an ongoing curse, a chain that runs in the family. Have you considered breaking the chain, breaking the cycle, not repeating the sins of your parents?
I have no intention of living up to my Promethean legacy.
So you will not embrace?
I have no need to. People embrace out of what? Desire for power and companionship that will eventually turn into spite, hatred, and maybe even diablerie.
Or if they're bored?
I have no intention of inflicting this curse on anyone else at the present time, but our existence is long.
Well, I can't speak for Julian, but if you were to keep to your word that you would not embrace, I would be more than happy to open the door. For you. And then looking at Alejandro and slowly shaking my head.
You all need to get out, Alejandro says. You, me, Sabrina. They hypothetically have a way, and you know something that nobody else does. And I think it's time you shared that, because that will help them.
Look to Julian. Would you say no to them?
To let them out?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any reason why I would. I have no maliciousness towards them. They
Have killed, murdered, tortured. One was Sabat.
We're all killers.
Even you, Julian. Is that what he means?
Even Julian. Alejandro says. It's part of our nature. We don't want it. Sometimes it happens.
You of all people understand, Henry, the merit of a righteous kill. I have had to. I continue to do it. We all have our way. I have mine.
Oh. Was that pleasure, I heard?
No. Duty.
Duty. I knew there was a reason I liked you.
I will not stand idly by while people suffer. Since I was a boy, when this country was young, there was so much suffering. I was choked by it, even though I could not see it, I could hear it, I could smell it. And now that I am kindred, I will not stand idly by and let it happen. Especially to those who fate has given such a terrible and unfair end. I have good work to do at the hospital now. And he smiles a little bit.
Dealing with the symptoms, cleaning up the damage that's caused. Or you could stop the harm from ever happening.
I take the prey out of the claws of fate, so it does not get its meal. I am satisfied with that lot. It is such a cruel thing. It's what gave me my blindness.
The mention of fate, a light bulb explodes next to Julian.
And he just smiled.
Look at the light bulb. Look at Alejandro.
He looks shocked. Melinda is at the edge of her seat. She's literally sitting, like, leaned forward in the couch and watching you like a child watching the theater.
Gently and calmly placing a hand on Julian's shoulder. You seem to have a connection with fate and slowly moving him closer to Alejandro.
It is not a connection. Well, maybe it could be. It is my adversary.
Oh, I see the look, Melinda says. That's defiance. But you're no Bruja. It comes from something else.
It comes from me. It's no beast. This world is a cruel place, and I will do what I can to alleviate its suffering, including yours. Everyone.
I do so suffer in this town, so please help me.
You
want
help.
to escape? I can help you with that.
Great.
But I agree with what Henry said. That your support would be useful to keep us alive. If anything, we don't want you attacking us when this is over. Once the door is opened or whatever it is. Whatever we can manifest. Can you manage that?
I can give you something. Something that's gonna make people think, possibly rebel against the Baron. Or should I say Margaret? I can tell you the story about how things usually go. She will boss you around, she will be very nice, and she will pay you and give you boons. And as soon as you are a liability or you don't serve her ends or you become a little bit too aware of what's going on, then you will disappear. And what I know is simply a question. Who is in charge of Dusktown? The big thing on the throne? The wings and the bones that never say anything or do anything? Or the one who speaks for him? The one that judges? The one that orders? This little question has kept me alive for a long, long time. Because should the others ask the same question? Well, you don't really have power unless you have subjects, do you? And who's the alternative? The Ventrue, who only cares for his patients? The Banu Hakim, who kills everyone in her way? Or perhaps you guys? Who will take the crown? It won't be me, because I don't care for it. It certainly won't be him, she points to Alejandro, because he's too stupid. To who?
I don't want a crown.
I have no interest in it.
Anyone that would want a crown won't be alive very long. Dahlia. Dahlia seeks power.
Yeah.
They have no soul.
She does not care for ruling the mortals, I think. Her vision is beyond. But this question is something that could gain you allies. You can get people to think. Like the little hound and her butt plug. Sabrina and Dominic, working for the Baron. Sabrina wants to leave as well. She's gangrel and I'm sure she wishes to roam the world again. She might look and talk like a spoiled teenager, but she is very old. And I don't think she's satisfied with her job. She never seems to want to do it anyways. But I guess it's better to boss people around on behalf of someone else than being the one under the heel.
Well, to be frank, if there were a door, if it was to have been gradually opening and things happening, people would have realized, people would know, and so people are probably going to get rather ticked off with us rather soon.
I imagine so.
Which means
heard things.
They're probably going to either kill or convert us rather sharpish. And none of us are so base as to be able to be swayed with petty trinkets or titles, or small objects or fetters of power. So I think we're probably going to end up moving quickly. Which does mean we can make friends quickly. But for every friend we make an enemy. Is it going to be worth making you our friends? Because who are we going to make our enemy if we do?
Margaret.
Do you like Margaret, Julian?
She's always been very pleasant. But you're saying it was nothing more than a front?
She's Nosferatu. She plays people like puppets.
I've encountered many people such as that. Far more adept at such manipulations than Nosferatu.
We're monsters.
I am Toreador after all.
Well, you do it more directly. I'm sure the Blizzard has been a pleasant relief from her constant spying on you.
It hasn't just been her spying on us.
Oh, I assume everyone.
What about the other Nos? Keeps sending other people in our coterie phones.
Oh, Malkavian, Nishida.
Oh,
yeah.
Markavian.
Well, she is just... Well, if you want her on your side, you're gonna have to do things for her.
Oh no, we know what we can do, but is she worth? Who is she connected to?
He is connected to everything through the internet.
Follow-up question. What's the internet?
It is what links all the phones and cameras and tracks people and...
Wires.
Invisible wires as well. Whenever you have a phone on you, she can track you. Whenever there's a camera, she can see you. She can make you disappear. She can make you like you never existed. She can get into governmental servers and erase things and put things there. She is very good with computers. And she has never ever had any need to leave her haven. And therefore nobody knows where it is. Because she just simply possesses someone. I'm sure you had the experience of some random mortal walking up to you and handing you things.
But is she
Is that her?
connected to anyone? Is she... Does she serve Margaret? Does she serve the prince? The Baron? We don't have a prince, do we?
She
This place is
serves...
just weird.
She serves whoever is willing to pay.
That I can deal with.
But she doesn't really... You can't contact her. She contacts you. But if she asked you to do something, I recommend doing it. It couldn't hurt.
Well, if she ever contacted me, I would.
Julian says nothing. Just lets it hang in the air. Just doesn't do anything.
Alejandro's just looking around, big smile in the air on his face. So we're all good? We're all on board?
We are.
Good. Glad.
Not so sure about you, though.
I'll change your mind. Because you said you needed to talk to a fae, and that's our next stop.
Meeting with a fae.
I'm holding up my end of the deal. You
One
wanted
of the
to
fairy folk.
talk to a fae, and... I think
check
my...
a small blade in his coat, and then... Yes, let's.
I think my minor boon is reasonable.
Do you like Dahlia, Alejandro?
I only met her once. Brief. I was on the floor, high as a kite, and... Well, she didn't break my collarbone. Henry. She seemed terrifying, though. Like you, she has a kind of... about her.
What do you mean, like me?
You have a... like a thing, and I'm not talking about your face, like an aura.
Ah! You were Sabat.
Yes.
So, you drank the... What's the drink they drink here? The Gatorade. And so you believed all of that horrible stuff about Cain and how he's...
If you're talking about the mission about, you know, annihilating the antediluvians, the main enemy during my upbringing was Camarilla.
Ah.
And securing the new world. But of course there are natives that had to be fought.
So you weren't one of those true believers?
I believed until I didn't. I do believe that the antediluvians cannot be permitted to rise, but I don't believe it's my responsibility to seek them out and make sure they don't.
Does Melinda have any reaction to this lore drop about Alejandro?
She's just listening, smiling like she already knows it, but...
Oh, okay.
To this, it's very entertaining to her, all this.
Noticing that it doesn't upset or make Melinda want to kill him, Henry's going to grow tired with the conversation and walk off back to the car.
Can you give me an occult roll if you want to? Difficulty 3, because you're old. Julian, you're allowed to as well if you want to, but I don't know if he's...
I don't think Julian would know much about this.
3.
Raise enough. She said Promethean, and to the Camarilla, they are considered Sabbat. And Bruja, obviously.
Oh my god. It must be pretty bad when the only chill people are the fucking Sabbat people, man. That's wrong.
Melinda says, well, I've given you information, and if you want rebellion, let me know. I have a tendency to make people go crazy. If I want to. Oh, you saw it. Yeah, you saw it. The bar, I remember.
I don't have much interest in rebellion, but let's just say we're working on things. May I take this wine with me?
Yes,
Quite
of
good.
course. Have 3. 3 bottles, new fresh bottles are brought to you.
You know, I think I will. Thank you. Thank you very much. As he takes it in, carrying it in like a bag or something. Thank you.
It was a pleasure to see you both. Now please remove that smelly thing from my property. She points towards Alejandro, who's still just smiling, like it's all a big joke. And he starts walking out the house. Is there anything else you want to ask her before you leave?
No, I think that's good for Henry.
Then I jump to Dahlia at the graveyard. Welcome.
Is going to.
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
I was just welcomed by Agnes. She's delighted to see you. She's wearing a skull mask, but you can hear it in her tone.
Well, her approach was no doubt announced to Agnes in the way that spirits communicate, because she basically walked up to the mausoleum or wherever it is Agnes makes her abode, and every spirit there kind of gave her space. All stood back and just
fuck it. I'm not touching that.
yeah, exactly right. Not getting anywhere near that, So, and of course, Dahlia knows this. Her eyes are black with the or well, actually, no, she doesn't have that. I keep forgetting. But she's aware that they know, and she senses them, and she just kind of walks in, like she owns the place, like she basically, belongs there, and it doesn't anticipate being stopped by anything.
The zombies opened the door for you.
Yes, even before she gets there. So you can hear the pacing, the heels on the stones and everything like that. And yeah, they already have the door open before she even gets there. And she just walks right through, doesn't even acknowledge them. She, they don't matter. So
Miss Gray.
Yes. Agnes, it's been a bit.
A day or two.
How goes your intentions, your goals, your designs?
Oh, very well. He's perfect at what he does. The warden.
Fantastic. Well, you may recall that my friends and I brought him to you. Specifically, I brought him to you. And we had a deal. We had an arrangement.
Yes. A side of death and a little extra for you.
Indeed. And while my companions can't fully understand or grasp the scope of the arts in which you and I.
Oh, it's better to have this conversation without Julian present, I think.
Oh, I agree. He wouldn't understand it all. Poor creature. And so I come to you because I believe you are a woman of your word, and I seek to fulfill that end of the bargain. You see, I am in the middle of my own project.
Yeah, I felt it.
And good. I'm glad you felt it. I suspect that only someone of your sensitivities initially would.
It was a delightful scream from the damned.
Oh, was it not? Just exquisite. So, I've hit a bit of a snag. And she goes on to explain basically what happened, like that she needs an extra component, and she basically needs to have the artifact to complete the whole process of
Yes. It's a difficult thing, but it can be done. She walks to a bookcase and fetches out a, let's say, leather-bound tome. It's some type of skin, and hands it to you. It's about, what's that, like 3 inches thick?
What, pray tell, is this? She's gonna like open it up and just like page through the pages which are made of actual skin. Yeah.
A lot of things, a lot of ceremonies in there, and like the
It's like-
Shroud of Silence, but there is a chapter on soul forging, and that is what you need there. You need to make something, well, a soul, immaterial, into a material thing. I believe it's the currency on the other side, but it can be used here. Binding
I've
it.
heard of these things.
It doesn't have to be a coin.
But it could be.
It could be a coin, but it
Yeah,
could be a
yes.
well. It could be anything, really.
Yeah. Fantastic. Any soul will do, or is there?
Any soul will do.
You seem to have quite a lot of them here.
But there's plenty in town. Take
yeah.
them. I have
Okay.
so many.
I would love to. They can finally have meaning,
Yes.
contribute to a greater purpose.
Become a part of the wall.
Indeed.
It's nice to talk to someone who understands. I have to say that.
Indeed. It's asking too much. It's asking really too much for anyone else to even to get on page 1 of where we are. And so I understand that you have intentions of leading something of a ghastly parade through Dusktown. Is that still a thing?
Once I figure out how to lift the barrier. I know.
I could perhaps help with that. I don't know what my companions are currently up to at the moment, but perhaps if I could find out something from them or our erstwhile special guest at my other residence, perhaps I could find something that will help you to do that. I'm afraid that my project doesn't quite accomplish that particular aim.
I was hoping to cheat it by walking through it on the other side, but fortunately it does not work. I think I need something more akin to a gateway to the labyrinth.
Yes.
Something outside of the normal dimensional structure.
Really? I might be able to help with that.
Oh,
But I'm going to need something from you again.
well, if I can provide it.
Quid pro quo. Well, you did mention, the forging of these artifacts, these soul tokens, as whatever term we want to apply to them. I suspect that if we work together, we can accomplish both of our goals. What do you say?
I say, of course.
We are aligned, aren't we?
Of course. Always
In
have
mind
been.
and indeed, yes, indeed. I know a way back to the special place that I'm working on. I want you to bring enough of your companions to commission for our security, place them under my command, and then help me with the forging process, and then I can help you with the barrier. I can help you with this portal to the labyrinth. This is my specialty.
Very well. I will visit you.
Excellent.
I need to gather, well, quite a lot, but
Quickly.
shouldn't take more than a night.
Time is of the essence, yes. You need to be quick about it. I don't want to be kept waiting, Agnes. Okay? I know that we don't reckon time the way other people do, but this is a matter of immediate import.
I'll do my utmost best.
Fantastic. It's been wonderful working with you.
Always. Keep the book, dear.
Thank you. And then she will take it and basically retreat out of the room in a most unnatural way. She doesn't move naturally at all. so yeah, she kind of just floats along the floor. She doesn't really even there's no natural movement here that normal people would be accustomed to. So yeah, and again, as she parades out of Agnes's sanctuary here, she's given a wide berth. But she will this time acknowledge the gathered throng, and she will say, "See you soon, darlings," and then leave via secret ways. Yeah.
Yes. Well, out of character, mechanically, the book works. What? I don't know if you want to learn a ceremony or you want to take the chance of doing a high roll. It's probably in there.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. I'm going to take that chance. Yeah, there's not even a question. That's going to happen.
Just to explain it again, if you don't know the ceremony, aka you have not spent ritual XP on it, the difficulty is doubled. And takes twice the amount of time, but if there is a ceremony, even from previous editions, that you think, oh, this could be cool, you're able to achieve it.
Sounds good.
Second last scene. Almost made it. Maybe not in time, but Henry and Julian again. You are driving north, and out of the town. Into the forest. Pitch black, snow everywhere. No blizzard, but still snowing. A little bit windy. Trees covers for it, of course. And then Alejandro stops at the side of the road. We have to kind of walk from here. And do be quiet. This is, well, lupine territory. And if they come, I'm not gonna save you. He smiles.
And that's why I like Alejandro so much. And don't panic, Julian. He would never bring you anywhere that would be this dangerous.
Julian cracks open the door to the car a little bit, and he's like looking around and he smells the air. May I do a quick little check for awareness? Like if there's like a smell of wet dog in the air, or
Yes.
like
Let's keep that nose on.
my nose. And I remember it's 6 dice. 11 crit.
If there's a lupine, I'll let you know. No sense of or smell of dog in the air at the moment.
It smells cinnamon for some reason.
You smell spring, weirdly enough. Like spring flowers. But it's in the middle of the winter.
Is that pumpkin spice? No, I'm sorry.
Like a moss surrounded pond almost.
Oh, that's nice. I don't smell lupines, but it smells like spring. But it's bitterly cold.
I think you maybe had too much of that joint. Pretty wintery at the moment, mate. Walk into the forest. Henry, you can't see. You have a flashlight. Or something. Well, you can see enough. At least. That's the crunch of snow beneath your feet. You walk for about 20 minutes, you think. And then you start to feel something. Almost like the sensation you have forgotten, but the warmth of the sun on your face. But you don't recoil. It's actually quite pleasant. And then you hear singing. You don't know the language, but it's beautiful. A woman's voice. You walk into a glade. A glade of spring. There's no snow. There's leaves on the trees. A little pond. Ground is covered in moss. There's a blue-skinned woman sitting in the little pond, washing her hair, singing, entrancing. And I need you to do a composure and resolve.
Oh no.
+1 if, or +2 if you have unswayable mind.
Oh yeah. Yes. Oh, +2, right?
Yeah, because of the power bonus.
Oh yes.
Well, your fortitude rating +1, I should say.
Mm. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no, Julian.
I do have willpower.
Are you gonna spend it? It's my next question.
To stave off a bad outcome, I suppose. Yes.
To stay off the beast.
I'll spend it. I'll mark it off right now.
Fair enough.
How close is Julian to Alejandro?
Right next to him.
For a friend.
Right next to him. I'm just imagining like you all three walk out side by side. Maybe Henry is behind Julian with a giant fucking stake, but I don't know.
No.
Vile
He's
fake
behind
creature.
someone with a giant stake.
Jesus.
Not
Julian's messy crit is like, you dare, you pagan thing, you foul creature. I don't know.
She is well, you're not entranced by her, but she is beautiful and mesmerizing in a way and very alien to you. She looks up, sees you, and that aura she has, it becomes menacing, fearful. She has an angry look and she screams in something you don't understand. She rushes out of the water at great speed. And then chains appear on her ankles and wrists. It's the word I'm looking for. Kind of stopping right before she reaches Henry and Julian. She just yells at you. Like she recognizes you. And she's not happy to see you. Alejandro kind of steps back from it. She's not usually like this.
Who is she?
A fae. I don't know. I don't know what she's saying, but I don't know. She kind of likes my thing, and it's beautiful here. So I like hanging out. She's still
You
just
don't even
wailing at you.
know her name. I just imagine like Julian is just nonplussed. He's just like looking at him.
Amastacia, I think.
Amastacia.
She's
I never
not a
heard such a thing.
changeling. She's a true fae. Not supposed to be here.
Why is she here?
Points at
Do
the
you know?
chains. I assume you guys did that. She's not happy to see you.
Julian just something I didn't mention earlier, but I was thinking this. I forgot to mention it though, but he pulls out like one of the bottles of wine and he just kind of like offers it to her.
Here, have a weapon.
She's kind of hissing at you and clawing at the air, and like every time she's about to reach you, it seems like the chain is pulling her limbs back. Well, there's a fae here. That's what you wanted. I don't know what you want with her.
Right, so it was a tear of a demon.
Essence of a fae.
What's the essence of a fae, and how are you going to take it from them, Julian?
Why do I have to be the one to do this? Is not my project.
It seems to be very unhappy with you in particular.
Is it specifically going after Julian?
No, it's just because you approached it.
So, who knows? Our memories are blank, but its memory appears to be quite clear.
I think Julian would address the Fae and just be like, "Who are you, and how do you know us?"
Again, screams and something you don't understand. But she seems to understand what you're saying. Alejandro says, let me try something. Might, help the situation. He kind of seems to concentrate for a moment, and butterflies start to appear, and wisps, glowing wisps, and like rainbow colors from behind him, and like not sun, but some ethereal light. And she seems to calm down, and suddenly she looks like an addict reaching for the things around her.
What are you doing?
I don't know, they like it. I don't know what it is, but they like my power.
How do you
Julian sets the
communicate?
bottle. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I know. It was, how do you communicate with it?
Well, let it into your mind.
Okay. I'm willing to let it in. I don't think it's going to want to stay.
There's that pressure and entrancement, and if you let your guard down, you can let it in, but you succeeded your role, so it is up to you.
Unless, of course, Julian.
I think Julian would take off his glasses and he would look at her right in the eyes with like his faded like pale eyes. I'm gonna use panacea on it and try and calm her down.
Yes. It's arouse, right?
I believe so, yeah. I never use this power, so it's
No, you never bother to regain the willpower you treat teammates.
they're mean to me.
I am the beast. I'm supposed to.
I'm thinking about putting him a little bit more into this. This is a magical creature. God damn it. Okay. I'm gonna have to go to the hospital after this.
I could
So I'm
take
gonna-
care of it if you want me to.
No.
Oh,
This doesn't-
I haven't tasted this before. Might be interesting.
She looks like the kind of thing that would taste you back. I don't think it's a good idea. Let's see. So, composure and discipline, so that's 6. So the modifier would be +1 and then 2 because of blood surge. And I'll put a little bit more on that. I have some willpower to spare.
A 5 is 4, 5 is more than enough.
Oh, it is? Okay, okay.
Yeah. Like yours.
I didn't know if she had to roll against it. I'm like, I see that 10, and I'm like, I could just,
It's kind of
push it
like
a little bit more.
you're restoring willpower mechanically, but you're also calming. That she seems to become still looking around at all the things Alejandro is doing, but she's calming down and she's looking at you. She's a little bit confused. Why are you doing this? But she's calm.
Julian does the thing where people just, I don't know if this would apply to a true fae, just puts the bottle in her hand, and there's like the natural reflex to take it when people do that to you. He's kind of like banking on it, just puts the bottle in her hand.
She takes the bottle, she smells it, and then kind of just flings it over her shoulder into the pond. You hear plump.
That's littering.
Well, maybe she'll find it later. It is sealed. All right. I think she's calmed down a bit. Are you ready, Henry?
Well, I can let her in, but I take no responsibility for what she finds.
You
I'll
let
let
your
her
guard
go.
down.
Yes.
You hear her voice. Sounds more like a scream right now, but that might be her mood. She's gone from beautiful and ethereal to She's not ugly, but she's become more monstrous. And she's showing a different side of herself. What do you want? Prisoner of mine? Capturer? Tormentor? Constructor of chains? You've come back for more?
Me or him?
Both of you.
Good.
And the rest of you. I hope they're all dead.
Not yet. But technically.
Yes, you're all vile things.
The others will die. So, it will get better for you. Slightly.
That warms my heart.
Is that where you keep your essence?
Do you want more?
Yes.
Who am I to say no?
Good.
Who am I to bargain? Trapped in this hellish plane?
You're not a person. You're a thing.
Julian, you don't... To you, it just looks like they're having a stare contest. Like... Almost... Like... Blue, silvery tears forms in her eyes and starts rolling down. And she pulls at her hair. Like a lock. And wraps it, and it becomes this... glowing thing. That eventually blooms into a blue flower. And she hands it to Henry. Again, if she's about to touch you, the chains will appear and she cannot. But you can definitely grab the flower thing.
Julian, can you take that, please? Probably best I don't touch it.
And Julian will reach out.
You see
And
it
he'll-
in all of its... Like, it's definitely magical, supernatural. Glowing
Yeah,
bright.
We'll smell it. Give it a little whiff.
It's nice.
Whiff.
It's spring, it's life, it's... Yeah.
Thank you, he says, like surprised. And he's holding it like it's the one ring. Like, wow.
She hisses at something at you. Sounds like a curse, but...
He would free you.
But you wouldn't.
No. Come, Julian, we should leave.
Is that everything? You're done?
Unless you wish to kill it.
No.
That's right.
Oh.
You want to leave it to suffer.
Just putting Julian in a moral dilemma at every opportunity.
We should thank Alejandro for these experiences that you've had tonight, Julian. Without him, you wouldn't have had any of these.
And Julian just kind of like puts the flower in like maybe like a little pocket. And he's just... It has certainly been illuminating. He just looks at the Fae and he's like, I will remember the path through here to this location. One day. I may free you
That's
if you
cool.
promise
She kind of
not
throws
to kill
her
us.
arms in the air, like surrendering and then screaming something at the night sky. And
As long as you promise not to kill us. We already have another being who wants to do that.
Henry here, I just want to go home.
Never.
The scream kind of reverberates. And then you see Alejandro's nose go. We should get out of here. Like now.
Do I smell wet dog?
Yeah, you do. You hear it as well. It's miles away, but you hear the howl.
It's a howl of assembly.
You
Oh,
even
no.
hear you even feel the quakes of the war form.
He just looks at the Fae. He's like, "We must go, but I won't forget you. We won't forget you."
Alejandro
This
is
is all over.
running already.
Well, he's like, he senses it. We'll come back for you. He just gets, he calls out as he runs. And when some of his celerity kicks in as he's like running.
Henry will try and guide Julian and care for him and make sure he doesn't fall.
You do get back to the car. It's already started. He has turned it around and he's just screaming, "Get in, get in, get in, get in."
Well, this isn't the next thing for Julian to experience.
Oh, no. This is the end of the night. We go back to town.
Julian does the whole slide across the hood of the car thing with his celerity, going full daredevil over the car. Just opens the door, gets inside. It's like, I don't need a lesson on lupines. I know this one very well. And he's going to... Yeah, he's gonna get in the car.
You drive back. About 10 minutes left. When I have a brief moment with you all in the same room, you're let out from your house. Dahlia, you return with your book. Maybe you have deposited at home, I don't know. Dowser, you have new knowledge, and Ella, maybe you have something you need to ponder over. But you do return. Essence of the Fae in hand, and a lot of knowledge to share. But Julian and Henry, when you arrive, because you're the last to do so, there's like a brown folder. Like, it's not nailed, but tied to the chain link fence. Obviously, Julian, you can't see it. You can hear the flap, 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 flap in the wind, but Henry, you recognize the brown folder with the string, usually for like very official documents or things like that.
Ah, this must be the blood hunt. One moment.
The what? Julian says as a reaction.
Now. It's pictures. 5 people tied to chairs, bruised, battered. Pictures all, you smell it, Julian, as well. It's written in blood. It just says, "Stop interfering." You recognize your touchstone, Henry. And the others are probably for the rest.
What is it, Henry? I can't see it. It smells like blood.
I don't know. I think it might be something from Cahya. Or actually, who have we? Ah, I've learned something new. Henry's going to close it all up, tie it back up, and say, "Let's go inside and shut the door."
All right.
You meet the rest of them in the basement. You obviously see
Yes.
the flower in Julian's hand. It is fucking glowing. And Henry with the mundane looking for brown folder.
Dowser.
Dowser, you muted. Oh,
Yes.
I think this is for you.
Open.
Pictures. One of them is your touchstone. The other 4 you may be seen, but they're nothing to you. And text written in blood that just says, "Stop interfering."
Can I try to do a premonition on this?
Yes. And when you all see the pictures, you can also do a French check.
Fantastic. I'd love to do that.
I'm immune to this.
In which order do you want it?
Either. It's fine.
It will. A brief thought will pass through Henry's mind is how Dahlia's got hold of all of everyone's touchstones so quickly.
Why did Dahlia do this?
What difficulty is this?
I believe it's just a 2.
Okay. Dahlia's eyebrows rise for just a second and then lower back down. And her expressions are demonstrably less human now than they were. And so it's her face is her expression is entirely unreadable, but it barely registers as an expression. There's no intake of breath. There's no normal reaction to this. She is just the very slightest reaction to it.
Did anyone fail their Frenchy? My fancy. I think you're all good.
Well, it looks like I don't know. I don't think everybody checked here.
Would Julian need to do a frenzy check? He can't.
Oh, you can't. You don't know what's going on yet. Yes. No, not yet.
Okay.
Do I, if I'm not looking at it?
Kind of apparent at some point, but see it. I assume the pictures go on the table.
Yeah, you must look at it.
The Guardian shows up. Oh, see, delightful time.
I know, right?
Are these people special, you say?
What's
Julian,
going on? What's happening?
Is there someone special to you?
Oh,
By a process of elimination, and helpfully describe.
You're
well, there
all
was this.
remaining
Yeah,
control. Sorry.
There is this one woman at the hospital. She smells like strawberries. And she's very nice. Has a very pleasant voice. I think Ella has met her.
I have. She's quite delightful. I don't remember her smelling like strawberries, but I know that your memory is keen as your senses are sharp. So
Would that be this lady, Ella?
would she recognize it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
This, and I take no pleasure in doing this, Julian, but Henry will describe the image to Julian.
What?
I'm sure Alejandro had nothing to do with it.
No. Why? Why her? And he's just kind of like going through. I gotta do the frenzy check.
And at that why, before I get to your premonition, Dowser, because that's a fun one to end with. You can do a wits and intelligence if you want to, everyone. Do.
I do the frenzy, right?
Yeah.
Just checking. Okay.
Wits and intelligence.
Yes.
I don't get a modifier to this. I'm pretty sure, right?
Not for frenzying. No, I don't think so.
Difficulty 2? Was
Yeah.
there a 3?
2.
Okay.
Well, you have a bunch of humanity, so.
Okay.
He said wits and intelligence for everyone.
Yes, if you want to.
Okay.
Who would do such a thing? It's
That's
so
the
beside
first
himself.
roll made by Dahlia after these terrible, terrible pacts.
Well, let's see if I can do one too. Oh, no.
Sure. She's
I tried to join you in the frenzy and solidarity, but you're just the messy one, I guess.
Just your entire domain will just die. Because 5 kindred frenzied.
because the guardian tried to hurt us.
Oh, he's smiling. He's really, really happy about the situation and the suffering you're all going through at the moment. 3.
Well, at this point, I mean, like before we even get to this moment, like Dahlia has already caressed the guardian and whispered into his ear, "Rinaldo, it's so good to see you again."
Oh my god.
Dowser, you remember a certain feeling. I can't remember if you're present for the session, but I'll describe it again. Those pains that sometimes happens and something invades your mind. The last time it happened, you felt something rummaging through your mind, seeking information. Then your premonition happens. It's a 2, so you just see eyes.
It's also Bastille failure.
Yeah, well, you just see eyes. And then fear. And then madness begins to grow in you. So the rest of you, Dowser is shaking and looking around like he's surrounded. But there's no one there. At least not around him. In that sense. And he begins to mutter something and say things, and well, it's not English and it's not Norwegian either, and it sounds like it's very guttural. And then you just hear a deep voice saying, "Get out of my way."